Poor performance across global markets comes as the US and UK crack down on social gatherings. President Trump has told Americans to avoid groups of more than 10 people. Health authorities are calling on young people to do their bit, saying people should be separated as much as possible.
We'd much rather be ahead of the curve than behind it, and that's what we are. Therefore, my administration is recommending that all Americans, including the young and healthy, work to engage in schooling from home when possible, avoid gathering in groups of more than 10 people, avoid discretionary travel, and avoid eating and drinking at bars, restaurants, and public food courts.
The British Prime Minister has told all citizens to stop all non-essential social contact. Boris Johnson says people should avoid clubs, pubs and theatres. From this weekend, pregnant women and people with serious health conditions need to stop social contact for 12 weeks.
It looks as though we're now approaching the fast growth part of the upward curve, and without drastic action, cases could double every 5 or 6 days.
The European Union's proposed a 30-day travel ban on foreigners travelling to the region for non-essential reasons to halt the spread of coronavirus. The European Commission President raised the idea prior to an EU summit to be held via video link.
We think non-essential travel should be reduced right now too, in order to not to spread the virus further, be it within the European Union or by leaving the European Union, but also to avoid non-essential travels, not to have more potential strain on our healthcare system. It is a restriction that should be in place for an initial period of 30 days.
The measures come as a nationwide lockdown was announced in France. President Emmanuel Macron warned those who don't comply will be punished. Adam Parsons has more.
We're not at the point where, right, 6 o'clock, everybody off the streets. But it is from midday saying you cannot go out of your house without good reason. And I think the crucial bit here, symbolically, is that there will be penalties for those who go against these new regulations. And interestingly, even if it is just providing support, getting people to hospitals, the military are now being mobilised in France. So you are going to have the police patrolling the streets, you're going to have military involved, and frankly, restrictions, strong restrictions on people's movements. I think for the country that created the idea of fraternity, equality and liberty, this is going to feel like a big step change. And Emmanuel Macron made no effort to play down the significance of this. He said, I think 5 times, we are at war. And already I think you are seeing the result. Look, there's no one here. Lille is a pretty big town, but you just don't see anyone walking around, and it is going to get quieter. I was in Paris just a few days ago. It was quiet then, and it is frankly going to get more and more quiet. Now, he did mention borders. He did mention that the Schengen area would be closing its borders. He slightly, I think, jumped the gun there. France will be closing its borders at midday tomorrow. There is, in fact, a meeting of the European Council by video conference. That meeting won't start, so I understand, until 5 o'clock, where a proposal will be discussed